Well, it's that time of the week again where we get to talk about brand new VR games coming out this week, new games coming out next week, and of course some of that juicy VR gaming news. But before we dive into that, I want to thank today's channel sponsor, Sky Strikers. Get ready to take VR sports to a whole new level with Sky Strikers. Step into an intense 3v3 battle. Master unique suit classes, each with powerful abilities, fly, strike, and defend as you dive through the dome in your ranked matches. Or team up with friends in the social hub for some fast-paced fun. Sky Strikers brings the thrill of the real-world sport right into VR. Sky Strikers is out right now and it's free to play on the Quest store, so you can go check it out, well, like I said, for free, so you can't really go too wrong with that. The link is in the description or of course in the pinned comment if you want to go check this one out for yourself. Definitely something fun to dive into over the weekend, and a massive thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. Other than that, let's dive into new VR games this week. Well, it's been one of the biggest weeks we've had in VR in quite some time, with Batman Arkham Shadow releasing. And well, this game, it definitely did not disappoint. Now, the cool thing about this is, well, honestly, it's got a lot of flat gamers talking about VR for the first time in a long time, and not only that, understanding that a game can be freaking fire if you have it in VR and it's done correctly. Now, if you want to know a bit more about this game, I do have a fully in-depth review of this, both spoiler-free and with spoilers included on the channel, so I highly recommend you go watch that if you want to learn a little bit more about the game. Just know though, if you're going into this, it's a pretty dope game. There's not too many flaws within it, and it's just all round pretty freaking awesome. But like I say, if you want a more in-depth review of me sort of sharing my opinions on each and every section of this game, then watch that video. Next up, we have Band Space that's just hit the Quest store, and this one is really that sort of like Guitar Hero sort of band hero sort of type game, where you're going to get in there, one of you gets to play piano, one gets to play bass, one gets to play guitar, and one becomes a singer. It really depends on which one you want to be, and you can get together with some friends and play this, or you can play it alone solo, so it really up to you how you want to go and experience this. The other cool thing as well is I believe it has like a modifier in there as well, where you're able to sort of like deal with your own music within the game, so it's got a lot of stuff to sort of bring you in. If this is your jam, then you're going to enjoy yourself. Next up, Vendetta Forever finally hit the Quest, and it's in its fullest of forms. Now, I've got to say, I did dive into this and check out the full game, and it really didn't disappoint. If you're looking for something that is just like a no-nonsense, straight into the action kind of game, then this is probably going to be for you. Honestly, I've really started off kind of not loving this game when I very first tried the demo originally, and I've ended up really kind of loving this game. It's definitely really fun, and I hope that they continue to update this with like new missions as it goes forward. It's not the longest game in its current form, but it's definitely got a lot of replayability to it. But like I say, I would really love for them to be able to do a bunch of DLCs for this, because I feel like it would do really well. VR gaming news. Now, as always, this is where things get very exciting. It is the VR gaming news section, and in this, there's definitely no disappointment in this week. We're going to kick this off with some pretty freaking awesome news that Arcane Age has finally got a release date, and I am very excited about this game. It's going to be dropping in January, early next year, which is great news because it's like a dead month. So if we have something fantastic like this to look forward to coming out in that month, then we're winning. You get to explore vibrant worlds using full body mechanisms to jump, swim, and scale your way through hidden treasures and epic freaking battles, discovering secrets, conquering enemies, and unlocking mysteries in the biochasm of Arcane Age VR. Now, honestly, it just sounds freaking dope as hell. I really cannot wait to dive into this one and explore it for myself. Not only that, it's going to be coming out to the PSVR 2 and PC VR as well. So I think this is going to be one of those just gorgeous games that we can get our teeth into. Next up, we have a brand new mixed reality game coming that I'm very excited for, and that is Shattered. In this, it plays out as like an escape room horror psychological thriller. Now, those are a lot of words, but it really does kind of nail each and every one of those things. This one looks super interesting to me. Essentially, you're going to be going through a bunch of different escape rooms slash puzzle rooms, and as you go through this story, it's going to, you know, maybe turn out that things are a little bit weirder than you imagined, and it's not as simple as it seems on the surface. There's even things where you're going to be like doing freaking autopsies and shit in this. It really looks like a very unique experience that I just haven't seen yet in mixed reality, so I'm very excited for this one. I really just can't wait for this one to drop. Next up, we have Guardian of Realms. They have just dropped a brand new update on the game, bringing new enemies, new animations, and making the AI even smarter and better. But that's not just it, they've also just dropped their mods as well, making this game freaking insane. So you can have things like a Captain America shield, you can have things like Thor's hammer, or you can have a friggin' lightning axe if you want. And of course you get to do all the friggin' damage you could possibly imagine. So this game is just getting better and better by the minute. Anyone to check out, this brings mixed reality into a whole new level where you get to have all of this fun in your own space, and it's freaking dope. Next up is Miracle Pool, and this is mixed reality's answer to playing pool. You can have literally a full-size pool table in your room, and you can play with some friends online as well. This is one of the most sort of convincing, realistic versions of pool you can play, as they have just incredible physics on all of the way that things work in this. But not just that, they've also just dropped an update this week, bringing the snooker update. So if you're a snooker player or you want to get into playing some snooker, then this one is going to be for you. Next up, Alien Rogue Incursion just dropped some gameplay footage showing us both the facehuggers and the xenomorphs, and I am getting actually freakishly excited about this game because I was very nervous at one point, and I feel like the more they're showing me, the more I'm starting to realize this is actually going to be a very decent looking Aliens game. I'm still hesitant to say it's going to be a great game because honestly I just need to get in and experience it for myself, but for now I'm definitely getting more excited. As you can see in the footage here, like we're seeing some like real decent looking gameplay. You're seeing the facehuggers attack you, you're seeing the movement of the xenomorphs, and it just gets me amped up, man. I really hope this is going to live up to its sort of hype. Again, I've just been burnt so many times this year, I don't want to get overhyped, but right now I'm feeling pretty good about this game, and I'm hoping I just hope it's going to be as good as I think it's going to be. Blade and Sorcery Nomad is getting the full fat update to bring it in line with the PC VR game. Now the PC VR game earlier this year dropped like the actual Crystal Hunt missions, and of course like the actual sort of missions to the game, so no longer is it just the sandbox, it now also has the campaign that runs through it as well, where you're going to go up against various different bosses, you have these fights, and you also have to sort of run through the dungeons to be able to find the crystals and really like gain more power. Next up, Tactical Assault is bringing a brand new update to a Quest and PC VR. I'm super excited about this one. I haven't experienced it for myself yet, but it's got a brand new mission in it that looks freaking insane. So I'm very much looking forward to diving into this myself over the weekend, and of course playing through it. It's going to be dropping on Tuesday the 29th of October, so next week you're going to be able to dive into this and experience it for yourself. Honestly, looks freaking badass. Props to them for making such a cool game. And if you haven't played this before, it's very much a tactical sort of shooter where you get to go in with some friends. You can definitely have a laugh with this one as well. But if you want to play it super seriously, then you can, and you'll have a freaking awesome time breaching doors using different cool weapons. And of course, just going through that vibe of being a freaking tactical assault team. Coming up next week. Now next week is looking like a bit of a quieter week. I mean, honestly, that's fine with me. We've still got things to be experiencing and things to be playing off the back of last week. But nonetheless, we do have some new games dropping, and one of those is the spookiest game that's ever existed in VR, and that is Phasmophobia. Now, Phasmophobia is going to finally be making its way to the PSVR 2. God, I really would love a Quest version of this one day, but for now, PSVR 2 is going to be a winner. Honestly, this one's going to be great. If you own a PSVR 2, get your butt in there. If you like to be spooked out, this is going to end you. So I am very, very excited to really just check this one out for myself and just absolutely poop my pants. If you want to see me do a video on this, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll get some other YouTubers together and we can do a video. Honestly, it is scary in there, so get ready to wear your brown pants if you're going to do this. Essentially what you're going to do is you go in as ghost hunters, and you're going to be hunting down to figure out what types of ghosts are in there and what type of like terrifying thing you're coming up against, and will it kill you while you're trying to figure that out. Next up, we also have Human Fall Flat VR coming out next week. I am really excited for this. I'm a huge fan of the flat version of this game, and the fact that they're bringing this to VR is really intriguing to me. I have no idea how the mechanics are going to work, because it's one of those like I Am Bread type situations where, you know, you're just a floppy mess that really I just don't know how this is going to work out in VR, but I'm sure the developers will work this out. Other than that, guys, that is going to do it for this week's video, and I'm buzzing, man. We've had such a good week this week with Batman coming out. We've got a good week coming up next week with Phasmophobia, and not only that, we've had this sort of great news coming out as well about all these other VR games. We're in such a good position in VR at the moment, and honestly, we have still so much more to come this year. We have behemoth that may be coming out hopefully towards the end of this year if it doesn't get pushed early next year. We've got Metro coming out, and we've got so many other wonderful games coming our way as well. It's just, we're in like a great place right now. Let me know in the comments down below what you're going to be playing this weekend, or what you're most hyped about coming out next, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.